Happy holidays, everyone. It feels like everyone has a Christmas classic or a handful of Christmas classics to really get you into the holiday spirit. Every family seems to have their own selection of these few combination of stuff that the parents grew up with or you can't grow up with, whatever. There are always four that to me have over the years kind of become Christmas staples that when I think of Christmas time, holiday season, November, December-ish, that I always look forward to checking out again, sort of an annual thing. Muppets Christmas Carol is one of those. Home Alone, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the 1994 modern Christmas classic with Tim Allen, Disney's The Santa Claus. And this was during the 90s heyday, I feel, of Tim Allen. Home Improvement was a staple in my household, something that we always would sit around and watch. It was something that was a bit of a family gathering thing. We all went together. At the time, it was just my brother wasn't born yet, so it was just my sister and myself and my mom and dad. We all went and saw this in theaters, and I always really loved this. We actually have two copies here on LaserDisc, the same edition here, but a really nice letterbox edition. Looks great, sounds fantastic, but a modern Christmas classic that I think, again, did that Disney thing or went into a bunch of kind of crappy sequels, but the first one is absolutely fantastic. It really holds that Christmas magic, and Tim Allen works perfectly. Again, this is that 90s heyday of him where I really, really like Tim Allen, and it has a lot of heart to it. I think the one thing that works is that the family dynamic throughout the film really works well, and his son never crosses that line as a lot of times a kid can in a Christmas movie where they become almost annoying. He's actually really endearing and a little bit snarky at times, and you have Judge Reinhold, who's fantastic as the stepdad Neil. He was, I think, one of the funniest parts in the movie. His scenes in there are great, and it's just a wonderful Christmas movie that has Tim Allen starring as Scott Calvin, who is divorced and has his son over for Christmas Eve to spend time with him, and Santa Claus actually visits them, falls off a ladder, and he ends up putting on the suit and becoming Santa Claus. Not to spoil too much, I mean, it's a 20-something-year-old movie here, but going into that, it's a story of him adjusting to being the new Santa Claus and everything that is involved with that and all the shenanigans that go on with the elves. The elves are done very, very well, all with kids, with the exception of Bernard, who is the head elf, who is someone who my wife is very, very fond of that character, a bit of a crush on, I believe. But he's just great and really puts, again, he's one of those characters who really has just a funny, sarcastic attitude that really makes some scenes work. And it's one of those that never crosses the line in my mind of being too overly sappy. It's heartfelt without crossing that line, and I feel like it just kind of works. And it's one of those odd things with me that I really enjoy this movie so much, because I actually don't really like the Christmas season. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but to me, I'm not overly religious, so I don't have that aspect. And then on top of that, I just hate the fake commercialism of it, how it's pushed like 2 months ahead of time. It's Halloween, it's already starting, and everyone runs around. You have this idea in your mind of the joy and the giving and the happiness and the family get-togethers, and it's so fake because everyone's running around so stressed, like, this is gonna be a wonderful Christmas or else, and doing so much. And to me, I think it's odd then that growing up, and still to this day, I really enjoy a lot of Christmas movies though, and I enjoy a lot of those Christmas episodes or TV specials that a lot of times the shows will have, especially older shows. Like I like the Bewitched, there are 2 Christmas episodes I really enjoy, and that type of thing. I Love Lucy and The Honeymooners, but I think maybe it's because growing up, ones that are done well like this, there are a lot of the sappy Hallmark Channel crappy ones, but I think the Christmas movies that are done well really get across the spirit of the holiday, of what it's supposed to be versus reality, and I think it's just done very, very well. And this is one of those that I think it just still holds up today too. Even sometimes I know with some of the older Christmas ones, especially in the 90s, when studios were starting to use CGI a little bit more and get a little bit heavy, sometimes those don't age as well. I haven't seen a Blu-ray transfer or anything. I don't think that would hold up as well, but on LaserDisc, even those effects hold up well, and it has a great, memorable score. It's a funny story that is very heartwarming and charming, and I really like the aesthetic of a lot of the elements when they go to the North Pole, and you have even like the animatronic reindeer and things like that. I really like the visual style of those elements, and it's not overly heavy with those as well. I think that everything in this movie is balanced fairly well as far as being not too much time just focusing on the Santa Claus aspect in North Pole, not too much time focusing on the family drama, not too much time focusing on the goofy slapsticky humor. Everything is put into a fairly good balance for a really great Christmas movie that if you have not seen, you should probably check out. And again, like I said, stick with the first one. The sequels, not so much, but this to me is a kind of modernish Christmas classic.